Dark. All right, how exciting. Let's dive into darkness.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about human shame.
Human shame. It's really a shame that humans have shame. Because you don't have to.
Let me explain.
All right, explain your shame on the plane in Spain.
So it feels like to me that I took the quote-unquote spiritual knowledge so far that all of a sudden I hit a wall. And it's like, oh, you also have to conquer your personal power.
Well, not conquer, but align with.
Right. And in doing that, it's taken me down this pretty dark journey.
Such as? For example?
For example, the shame. So,
yes.
Exploring shame, understanding shame.
Yes. So that you can let go of it, yes?
Yes, but what I'm having a challenging time with now is I see it everywhere. It's like, it feels like I feel everyone's shame.
When you explore something, you see it everywhere because you're on that frequency of exploration. But so what? You're learning about it. How can you not see something if you're going to learn about it?
So it's okay to have an experience where you feel so out of alignment and you almost don't even see the people you love the way you want to.
Yes, it's okay if you're using it for a positive learning experience. So as long as you are not allowing yourself to get stuck in it, so to speak, by worrying about the fact that you're having the experience, you'll use it in a positive way instead of a negative one.
So how would you imagine I could unstuck myself?
I just told you. You understand that you're doing it for a positive learning experience. And then you'll have an overview of it rather than feeling immersed in it. You'll become more neutral as an observer of it without necessarily having to take on the qualities that you're observing. Unless you want to do it to whatever degree you need to, just to understand what the experience is like. But you'll still understand that that's why you're doing it. It won't be something that you're unconscious of doing. It'll be something you're conscious of doing for a reason. And therefore you'll remain relatively neutral or objective in the exploration. You won't get caught up in it.
Okay.
So you have to look at it that way.
I feel that I do see it that way, but it still seems very scary to me.
Then you're not looking at it that way. But again, you can understand it's all right to be scared if you understand that it's a temporary experience for learning. Let me give you an analogy.
Okay.
Do you like roller coasters?
Yes.
Are you temporarily scared when you're riding them?
Yes.
But the ride is over at one point, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you have fun being scared for a while?
Yes.
Then you're on a different roller coaster, that's all. You're on the shame coaster.
I just can't imagine what type of person I'm going to be.
That is the issue. You can't imagine it, but you can. You just need to let yourself imagine how it could be used differently and what you could learn from it in a positive way. So when you say, I can't imagine it, you're stating that as if it's a fact. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. It's a belief. It's a perspective. It's not a fact that you can't imagine how it could be something that you could learn something positive from. You can. But you are not believing that you can.
I think for me, it's being able to see the person I'll be when I come out of it. What would allow you to do that?
What kind of perspective would you have to adopt that would allow you to have the kind of perspective that would work for you when you come out of it? Use your imagination right now.
Okay, ask the question again.
Thank you.
Wait, can you ask it again so I can give you the answer?
Can you use your imagination to imagine what it would look like and what it would feel like to come out of it with the lesson learned and then move on? Can you imagine seeing yourself do that?
Yes, I would imagine I would be more like you.
There you go. Then why don't you just be more like me? And then you'll be able to do it. All you have to do is imagine the version of yourself and see that version of yourself doing it, and then do what she does. Behave as she behaves, think as she thinks, feel as she feels, and you will be her.
And it's okay that there might be a little bit of a process?
Process is the entire point of why you're having a physical life. The process is the point. As you've heard on your planet sometimes, the journey is the destination. It's the whole reason why you're having a physical incarnation. Because you want to experience the process of change in order to have a deeper appreciation of it. So the process is the point. Whatever's happening at the moment, there's nowhere more important to be. Be in the process. That's the whole point of why you're experiencing it. To learn from the process. To change yourself and discover something new about yourself from a new perspective. You can't have a new perspective and a new discovery if you don't have a space-time process of some sort. Now, true, on the spirit level, it's a lot less, but on the physical level, it's a very specific kind of space-time process that allows you to have the experience of discovering something new and feeling that you have changed. If things were timeless, there would be no change. Yes?
Yeah.
So in order to experience the grandeur of change, the great ecstasy of having made a breakthrough, a realization, a revelation, you have to have a process of change.
So I'd like to expand on that a little more, if that's okay.
Of course.
So one of the aspects that I've been exploring that I feel both excited and also really uncomfortable with is shame as it pertains to people who have committed what we would say as evil or bad. Or...
All right. Let me stop you there for one moment because we need to clarify something here.
Sure.
There is a natural vibration within you that is a self-correcting mechanism that urges you back into alignment with your true vibration, your true self. You can interpret that sometimes as shame. But if it goes longer than about 15 seconds, it's self-judgment. And that's where you start having the difficulty. But natural anger, natural shame, which may need different words, is really nothing more than an alignment process, a realignment urging, an encouragement to go back into alignment. Now, if somebody doesn't do it, and it continues, it can develop into the kind of self-judgment shame that you're talking about, where then it simply becomes a cycle of self-judgment that feels like an entrapment. But if you understand that the origin of that feeling is simply a realignment process to what is really true for you, and you don't negatively define it or judge it in that first 15 seconds, you won't actually go into the negative form of shame, of self-judgment for having felt out of alignment. You will simply go back into alignment instead of wallowing in the fact that you went out of alignment, which is self-judgment, which doesn't allow you to align. Does that help?
Yes, it's synchronistic because I wanted to ask you about perfectionism.
Well, you're perfect as you are right now. In the next moment, you will be a different kind of perfect. But whatever you are right now is a perfect version of what you are. So you can't be a more perfect version of what you are right now. When you change, you will be a different version. And that version will be perfect for what it is. But perfectionism, in the sense of self-judgment, again, goes back to the idea that you're not good enough as you are.
So what permission slip would you give to me or to humanity about this judgment and this realizing it's okay to come out
all
of
right,
alignment?
there are many different kinds, of course, of permission slips that you could find yourself attracted to, but I can give you a very, 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 very basic and very simple one if you wish.
I'll take it.
Get over yourself. Get over yourself. So what? That's the mantra. All right, I went out of alignment. So what? I recognize that now. Is that what I prefer? No. Do I prefer to go back into alignment? Yes. Done.
So where does all the seriousness come from?
Where does all
The seriousness come from?
it comes from having been taught to believe that you're not worthy.
All right. So smart. Thank you.
So are all of you if you would just pay attention to yourselves.
I just wanted to add one piece
Yes.
that whenever I'm confused or lost
Yeah.
or I have a question, I just ask myself, what would Bashar tell me?
And again, your higher mind will answer you. Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
Andrew, you good day.
How are you today?
Perfect, and you?
Everything is good?
Sans
I have a few
rien.
questions relating to Joshua, the Christian call it Jesus. You mentioned that it was
Joshua,
artificial insemination. You mentioned that it was made through Mary with artificial insemination. That's the way it was
Of a
created.
type, but not in the way that your technology exists.
Well, I have no idea how to do that anyway. So, my question is related because I was asking you before which alien actually did that, and you said that you couldn't tell.
And I still can't.
You still okay? And now there is. If I go back, you know, you have the story of Moses. You
Yes.
know, who went on top of the bush with flames and all that. Was the same aliens doing talking to him? Was it the same people that created what was created that became, you know, the Torah and then the Christianity, the Bible and all that? Is it the same people?
Yes.
So, question, how do they feel about the result of the experiment?
Since many of you are now beginning to wake up and ask these questions from a higher level, they feel quite good about it. But it took a while.
Okay. So that makes total sense.
I know.
You know. Now I went to some, you know, I'm actually a Buddhist, but I went to some Torah reading, you know,
Yes.
for Messianic Jews, you know.
Yes, yes,
and they explain different story because most of the Bible come from, you know, the Torah and all that. And they have things talking about the fallen angel that you mentioned were the Anunnaki.
In a sense, yes. That's one of the ways to translate the story is that the Anunnaki who came to Earth and used their genetics to create Homo sapiens were looked at by the greater portion of the Anunnaki, in a sense, as having done something out of alignment with their civilization. And so you could consider them, from one perspective, to be the fallen angels.
Oh, I see. Because they seem these people I'm talking about studying those things to think that it's kind of evil. Those fallen angels, they are like evil.
It's not so much evil in the classical sense again, as it is simply the idea of acting out of integrity, acting out of alignment, acting with negative energy. And they ultimately came to terms with that.
Oh, I see. So it's just like the same thing. Then people who create the whole system, they finally, it's getting better. So they think it's going to work the right way, ultimately.
In a sense, yes, I'll let you get away with that explanation.
Yeah, trying to make it that I understand it. That's what it is.
All right.
You know, I have a personal question.
Yes.
Going, it seemed to be very reacting a lot more to feelings that I was before. You know, it's just if
Reacting to
I'm reacting.
feelings?
It's just, let's say that I watch a movie. Let's say,
Oh, yes.
and there is a scene that is kind of sad, and I feel very sad. And I used to just watch, and it's sad.
So you're
okay.
developing a stronger sense of empathy.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of it's kind of a bothering after a while. It's hard to handle sometimes, you know.
Now, I'm going to put this in a certain way just because we enjoy joking with you.
Yes, I love that.
So please understand that this is just a joke. You're becoming slightly less French.
I'm so glad, because I was feeling heavy lately, It's just Anyway, I really thank you so much for all the informations. Okay.
And thank you for allowing us to tease you a bit.
Oh yeah, I always like the way you tease.
All right.
I always love it. You're the best. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
It's good to see you again, Bashar.
And to you as well, good day.
Yes, I have several questions, and I'm not sure which to answer first, but one thing that occurred to me just as I was sitting before I came up here, other than the ones I wrote down, was a personal thing about my memory of being part of Atlantis.
Yes.
And a scientist there. And
you're making a connection from the present to a scientist who exists there in Atlantis simultaneously for your own purposes, yes. It's not you as a person.
Right.
It may be the same oversoul that you're an extension of, and that being is an extension of. And from the oversoul level, you could say, those are my lives. But from the human individual level, you've never been that person. They will never be you.
Okay.
But you're making that connection. So how does it serve you to have that connection? What are you learning by having that connection?
Well, I'm doing science now. I am a scientist today.
Right. So you're drawing from that person's experience.
Yes.
To guide you in doing science in the way that would work best for this age of transformation on Earth?
Yes.
All right.
And so in doing what I'm doing now, we have crystals that we've created that enhance life force.
All right.
And
that are permission slips that allow someone with a belief system to enhance their own life force.
Well, yes, but we've done thousands of experiments with plants.
Yes.
And the plants grow better, healthier.
Yes.
With certain crystal forms.
Yes, but the plants also know what it is you're attempting to do and will agree with your belief systems and show you the reflection of that. They know what they're doing.
Well, yes, but we have done blind studies too.
It doesn't matter. You can't blind the higher mind.
Thank you. So we also, I spoke to you before about the location parameter of things.
Yes.
And I wanted to know, and you said you could do it acoustically or electromagnetically.
For the experiment that we described, yes.
Yes, and I remember that experiment, and we're going to pursue it as soon as we can.
All right.
It's complex for us with our present technology.
If you say so.
But, well, anyway.
We made it as simple as we could.
Yes. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What I wanted to ask was, what is, in both the acoustic and electromagnetic domains, what is the frequency domain of that location signature?
What is the
frequency domain, in hertz or cycles per second? Is there a chirp, or is there a, what is it? What does it look like?
What does it look like?
Well, if you beam a...
What does the frequency of an object look like to your instruments? How do you measure it? It's going to be a part of that harmonic.
Well, you said you could ping it, you could even hit it with a little hammer.
And you can record the sound. And then on one of your instruments, do you not see some kind of an output representation of the sound you recorded in frequency terms?
Well, the frequency from the object may be completely different than what you have pinged it with, so to speak.
But you're recording the vibration of the object you pinged, not the vibration of the pinger.
That's right. You ping it and then you wait and listen.
Yes. And so when you record the vibration of the object, do you not have some kind of an output representation that tells you the frequency?
Well, yes, I've done some of that, but what I want to know is, which one am I looking for? What is the location
Well,
part
that's
look
why you
like?
have to move the object, because you have to have an instrument sensitive enough to notice the difference between the vibration you recorded here and the vibration you recorded there. And when you see the difference, you'll have found the locational variable. That's the whole point of the experiment.
I understand that part, but there's so many different vibrations that come.
It's a harmonic.
That it's difficult to see what's
Then you
what.
may need to make more sensitive instruments. Remember, we told this to all of you earlier on. Some of your instruments may not be sensitive enough. So you have to have more sensitive instruments and design those that can tell the difference between the vibration in one location and the vibration in another.
Okay. Well, also carrying on from the crystal analogy, or the crystal question,
Yes.
what is it about a crystal that Rupert Sheldrake called it a morphogenic field, for example, around life forms and crystals and other
Yes, well,
things?
it's a more orderly pattern of information. It's a code of information. Crystals are representative of the idea of a particular kind of order to the information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's something I already knew. I just wanted
All right, well,
a little deeper understanding.
deeper in what sense?
Well, because the extension of the crystal into the space beyond its own structure,
Yes.
how does that manifest? That's what I'm getting at.
Crystals, being the pure form that they are, well, I'm just going to use this word. You don't have to take it exactly literally in the way you understand this word, but crystals know, it's built into them to know that they actually exist everywhere at once in the holographic matrix. So they automatically have a path that can propagate that wave through what you call space, because it's actually propagating through multiple probable crystal forms that they know all exist at once. Does that make sense?
That's very helpful, yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. The artifacts that the man Trevor in the earlier session today
Yes.
was talking about.
Yes.
We had some Russian scientists looking at actually where these were dug up in Mexico.
Yes.
And they've carbon dated them at up to 15,000 years old.
Yes.
And we were
They
speculating.
carbon dated the material that was stuck in
Right, the glue or the adhesive that held
the organic
parts-
material.
Right, the organic
Yes.
material. You can't carbon date stone.
Correct.
And anyway, a number of these pieces have been dated at the University of Arizona and
Yes.
at the Center for whatever it is in Colorado, where they do all the carbon dating. I forgot the name.
All right. Well, and the point is?
And the point is that many of these are very old, and
Yes.
one of the Russians that was looking at all of these, his theory was that the people of Sirius were here.
Yes.
Many thousand. They were the earlier ones, the ones that are the oldest ones.
They're not the oldest ones, but they're one of them.
Okay, can you give me any kind of history on that? And
Not at this particular moment, no.
his thought was that these stones were actually inscribed by the extraterrestrials.
Some of them were inscribed by humans under the guidance of those beings, and some of them were inscribed by humans later.
Okay. And what was the purpose of these stones?
To understand the idea of resonant permission slips.
Okay. For the purpose of doing what?
Of allowing the humans to know that they could always be in conscious contact with those beings by vibrating in accordance to the permission slip stones, by matching the frequency of those stones.
Similar to your SSonic contact crystals,
Similar to that idea.
which I'm wearing one, by the way.
All right. So yes, a different version of that idea.
Okay.
It taps into the frequency of the Sirius consciousness and other civilizations as well.
And on these stones, there's a glyph language written, and you see
Yes.
the same symbols, and they vary on the older ones from the newer ones. And
Yes.
the oldest ones look similar to some that have been written on clavicle bones found in China.
Yes. Well, the ETs got around.
Yes. Yes.
We will talk about what the symbols represent in a future transmission.
One final question.
Yes.
In your physical form,
Yes.
are you compatible with the atmosphere of this planet?
Yes.
So
And
could-
you're compatible with our atmosphere, although we're a little more oxygen rich, so you might be a little dizzy until you acclimate.
Okay.
But as long as you shift to our dimension, You could walk on the surface of our planet and be just fine, and we can walk on the surface of your planet and be just fine as well.
And the gravitational element is about the same?
Our planet has slightly less gravity than yours, but
we could
it's
jump
not
higher.
something that's, yes, a little bit, but it's not something so different that it would be uncomfortable.
We could
And
jump
remember
for
that
joy.
we can adjust our vibrational component to equalize our gravitational quotient when walking on your planet, so it doesn't necessarily feel heavier to us.
So is Essassani near Sirius?
No, it's not even in your dimension of reality. It's in a parallel reality.
I see.
If we were to overlap our reality with yours, our star system would be about 500 light years in the direction of the Orion constellation.
Oh, interesting.
Does that help?
Yes, it's been a great pleasure speaking with you.
And with you as well.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So Daryl brought up a question during lunch, and I thought it was a very good question. When you do a frequency reading, what are you actually reading?
We are reading a combination of frequencies that you give off that represent many different things. Some of it represents what it is you believe. Some of it represents the probabilities you're willing to consider. Some of it represents the idea of the actions that you take. Some of it represents communications and connections you have to other beings. It represents many different things, and we read it as a collective vibrational harmonic.
Great. Can you tell me the frequency that I have right now?
At this particular moment, 167,842 cycles per second.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's very precise. Earlier, when Nicole had asked you about your instruction manual, you said there's a higher consciousness of the Sirius civilization. Can you share a little bit about that?
The higher consciousness.
What your instruction manual is?
Oh, the instruction manual is what we've said.
The same?
The idea is, first of all, there's the activation principle. You act on your passion to the best you can with no insistence or assumption on the outcome. That activates the kit. It becomes the driving engine that moves you through life. The organizing principle of synchronicity in a positive way gets activated. It becomes the path of least resistance, so you don't experience effort moving through life. It becomes the path that supports you in whatever form of abundance you need. It becomes the path that connects you to all expressions of your excitement that are relevant for you in your life. It absolutely leaves nothing relevant out whatsoever. It becomes the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within your belief system that is out of alignment with your passion, so you can let go of that belief and bring that energy back into alignment. And then by staying in a positive state, no matter what happens, and extracting the positive benefit from it, that's the entire instruction manual. We can always, as we say, go into greater detail in each of those instructional points and talk about the idea of how you can wrap your mind around them a little bit more clearly, but there are no more instructions. That's the entire description of the structure of existence, along with the concept of the 5 laws, and the idea, therefore, is that there are no more instructions. That's a complete manual, and it contains everything you need to understand. And it only requires understanding it in order to experience the effect of it to your advantage.
Okay. I just wanted to make that distinction if there are any additional things for you, but
Nope.
no, I appreciate that.
Again, the additional things are simply deeper explanations of each of those instructions, but there are no more instructions.
Okay. And then you had, the other questioner had requested about the angelic realm, and you said that's the first reflection.
Yes.
What's the second?
Well, the second reflection would be what you typically refer to as kind of a sub-angelic realm. You talk about yourself, different levels or layers of angels in your own understanding, yes?
Yes.
You say there are certain kinds of angels,
Right.
archangels, seraphim, so on and so forth, cherubim, so on and so forth. So the reflections spread out farther and farther into different ripples and expressions and multiple reflections of those things. Then it goes into things like universal reflections and galactic reflections and solar system reflections and parallel reality reflections and individual planetary reflections of consciousness and individual soul reflections and oversoul reflections and so on and so on and so on, down to the idea of individuated physical incarnational reality reflections. So again, it's a rather slippery system, not really an exact hierarchy because these vibrations can blend and fuse, and you can choose to highlight a particular level of frequency and say, well, that is the galactic level, or that is this council level. But you're the ones kind of extracting what you need from that. It's a relatively smooth spectrum of frequencies.
Okay.
You can create dividing lines where you need to for your own archetypal understanding, and other civilizations may create different dividing lines.
Sure. All about perspective. And then the first level of mastery, when Willa gave us that meditation, when we go into the forest and a tree.
And you're sitting between the tree and the river.
Now, that's what I wanted to get clarity. Living in California, we don't have a whole lot of rivers. So
any babbling brook will do, even an artificial one.
Okay.
It's still water.
That's my question. Perfect.
There you go.
And then, so I had an experience that I felt like I saw the when you're shifting kind of like the realities, I don't know how to explain it, where it slowed down, the frame slowed down.
That's because you're actually speeding up and matching the frame rate of physical reality. So they seem to slow down. It's not too dissimilar from your Einsteinian principle of time dilation. When you go faster, things seem to slow down around you because you're matching the frame rate.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, and so
Have you ever taken a strobe light and done that with something that's moving?
Wow, that's
yes, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It looks like suddenly that thing is standing perfectly still, even though it may be moving because you've matched its frame rate and isolated a particular frame that is equivalent to your perspective at that moment, so it looks frozen.
Yeah, that's a great way to visually explain that.
Yes.
Wow, that was really good. Thank you. And then what is it about also the feeling of time and space is moving through us? So it's like things are coming to me rather than me moving.
You can look at it that way, and it might in some sense be more accurate since you're creating it with your consciousness anyway.
Okay.
So yes, you can practice those ideas and it can give you different perspectives. Now, please understand the analogy I'm about to use doesn't mean that you shouldn't be driving your automobiles very safely. But you can practice a little bit when it's safe to understand that from a certain perspective, you can begin to realize that you're not moving down the road. The road is coming to you and you're standing perfectly still.
Yeah.
That can help you practice the idea of understanding that you're creating reality. Reality is being created through you, and you're not actually in a reality and not really moving around anywhere. That's all an illusion. But be safe.
Yeah. That's funny you say that. We were in my Tesla during the break doing really fast speeds. We were safe, but it was really fun.
All right.
And we were, yeah. And then my last interest is this connection that I have with dolphins and whales.
Yes.
It feels like there's something shifting with them right now, and I don't know how to really describe it. Is there something you can speak to that?
Well, you understand it's a serious energy connection.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, how do you want to express it in life? Is there something you could be doing you're not doing to express that energy?
Yes.
Such as?
Such as doing, I want to do swim with them in the water in the wild.
What else?
Channeling their energy.
What else?
Connecting them.
What else?
Painting, sculpting. I know.
All right.
I know. I don't know why I have such resistance to it.
I know.
Why do I have such resistance to it if it's such a...
You tell us. Why are you resistant to that artistic expression of the energy?
It feels like a lot of work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see. Well, then I guess because it's so much work, you will not be able to receive the amazing surprises that await you when you start doing it.
Oh, poor me. Okay.
I guess you'll just have to suffer.
I know, that's so silly. Okay, I'll do it. I'm ready.
Up to you.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, you will be astonished at what you see in those mirrors, because that's what art is.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It'll awaken and open up a whole new reality to you.
Okay.
Does that not sound exciting enough?
I guess a little. It does.
little.
Thank
All right,
you.
a little.
Yeah, it does a lot. Thank you, Bashar. I love you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
Yes. We have some questions from our Ustream listeners.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question is, there is an area in Mullumbimby, Australia.
In what?
Mullumbibmy, Australia.
All right.
That the indigenous people say has 3 pyramids that mirror the 3 pyramids in Giza,
Yes,
and do in fact predate them. Do you know
Yes.
anything about this?
I do.
Do you want to say anything about it?
At that time, 10,500. BC, as you say. Similar pyramids were set up around your planet in a variety of ways to maintain knowledge, to preserve knowledge, so that it would last through the asteroidal and cometary impact catastrophes that eradicated a lot of knowledge on your planet in cycles. So all the information that was preserved in time capsules that you call pyramids are available on every continent.
Cool.
Well, not always so cool in Australia, but yes.
Now, this question is a completely different direction. Just
Should I look
preparing
over
you.
here?
This person is asking, they're asking this outside of what is truly happening, but is relevant to what they're being presented with in their life.
Yes.
Why has God forsaken me?
God has not forsaken you, but God has given you the opportunity to experience being forsaken, which means you haven't been forsaken, because if you were truly forsaken, you would have no experience at all. So the very fact that you can feel forsaken proves that you have not been forsaken, or you would have no experience to speak of.
That's that paradox that
Yes,
you talk
it
about.
is.
Because paradoxically, by God, in a sense, not controlling everything and allowing everything,
Yes.
that's the unconditional.
Absolutely. It's the same idea as understanding that regardless of whether you have an experience of being disconnected, you can't be disconnected. Therefore, the paradox is you are using your connection to Source to create an experience that you're disconnected from Source. So the experience of disconnection is proof that you're connected.
That's very interesting.
Yes,
You all think really interesting.
we do. So do you.
I know.
Just differently interesting.
If I physically go to the area of one of these portals, how do I take advantage of the energy? And is it different for each portal?
It is different for each portal and different for each person's relationship with that portal. So, being in the area allows you the opportunity to decide, first and foremost, why you were attracted to that particular portal, what that energy specifically means for you, and what it is it allows you to work on within yourself to know yourself more fully. What kind of an experience would be representative of your passion in that energy field, in that bubble, reality?
It's so interesting because it's all about really letting your intuition within yourself show you
Yes.
the way to connect with the energy that's being presented.
Yes.
And let it reveal to you through your own stories, your own
Exactly.
higher mind, what is relevant for you in
Yes.
that moment.
In other words, approaching a portal may be easier to understand what's going on if you approach it more artistically than mentally.
Right, right. So you're playing with it, you're allowing your
Yes.
creative nature to interact with the situation and dream up whatever you want.
Well, again, not what you want, but where your imagination takes you.
Yeah, I guess what I meant was what it reminded me of is being in Machu Picchu and it's dusk and walking through the ruins and feeling the other beings that are present
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
And that's just the playful nature of the state that I was in then allowed me to become aware of almost a game of hide and go seek that was happening.
Yes. Another way to approach that idea in playing that game is to be in the portal, quiet yourself, calm yourself, and then in the silence ask, where am I now? Who am I now? And see what you get. You may find yourself shifting through a variety of shades of parallel realities by just asking those questions. Where am I now? Who am I now? See what happens.
And similar to the process that Daryl goes through, where it's so second nature now for him to do that.
Nature.
First nature. Except he's him a lot of times.
He is him a lot of times. I am me a lot of time. And together we are the third entity.
I know.
We are the overlap, the vesica
Pisces.
the simulacrum.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the simulation of a personality structure that gets filled with the combination of our two vibrations and creates a third autonomous identity to which you are speaking now. Because it is neither him nor me. It is the combination of us both, and it's its own entity. This is the secret of channeling. You allow for a blank personality to be filled with the vibration of the harmonic between the two entities that are bridging to each other. And through that third personality comes the translation and the communication. It is its own reality.
Love it. It's great. It's so interesting. It's so fascinating.
It is.
You are so fascinating. So, was there a sighting this week in Ireland? Was it an extraterrestrial sighting or something? Do you know anything about that?
Yes, and yes.
Oh, thank you for that in-depth coverage.
You're welcome. Yes.
Oh, this was kind of an interesting one. Recently, I was in Sedona on Bell Rock, and as I was meditating, I called to my hybrid children. I often play Cybo in the morning, so I used dice, and when I came out of my meditation, I found 3 miniature dice on a ledge next to me that weren't there before.
All right.
I wanted to know who was behind that.
Well, the person who created it, who experienced it, shifted themselves to another reality.
So in other words, they simply shifted to a parallel reality where somebody was playing dice with them?
They were playing dice.
Right, because he was calling, or he or she was calling the hybrid children, I guess, and
Yes. Well, yes, playing together.
so 1 minute they're playing with their own dice, and then they come out of the state, and there's 3 other dice.
Because they formed a real parallel reality link in a bridge to what you call a future reality when the hybrid children will be in that area. Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. And now we must roll the dice, for it is time for a short break in this transmission so that you can prepare for your holotope meditational experience to help crystallize the idea of interdimensional portals within your being in a different way. Please take a short break.